Okay, so I'm going to go through all of the Rainbow Six operators from base game launch to now in year 5. Start with the attackers, then go to the defenders. To start off with, we have Sledge, whose really simple ability, just a tactical sledgehammer that he can breach soft walls and barricades with. Next is Thatcher, who has an EMP grenade that, when detonated, it disables all electronics within its vicinity and destroys others. Ash has an explosive grenade launcher round that, when fired at a soft wall or barricade, will destroy it, making her a soft breacher. Thermite is a hard breacher that places a big breaching charge on reinforced walls or soft walls and will create an entrance for attackers. He is one of the few operators that can breach reinforced walls. Twitch has 2 electric shock drones that cannot jump but have a taser on them, and this taser can deal damage when a defender is shocked by it or a friendly attacker, or she can destroy electronics with it. Montaigne, really simple, just an expandable full body shield that stops bullets. He does not have any other primary weapons though, so he's reliant on a team. Glaz just has a thermal scope that, when active, he can see enemies through heat signatures if it's on the other side of a smoke, or through holes in barricades. He can spot them. But in this thermal scope, he also is in a magnifier, so when deactivated, he has a normal red dot sight or any other Russian optics. That is not an ACOG. Fuse has a grenade cluster charge that he puts it on soft walls and barricades, and it fires grenades onto the other side. This can also be placed on ceilings to fire grenades below. He can be used to getting kills, but more effectively used to destroy defender gadgets. And also, he has one of the best guns in the game. Blitz has a torso and up ballistic shield, and he's a 2-speed, so unlike Montaigne, it does not cover his legs or his sides as well, but it does have a flash on it, allowing him to rush in and blind enemies. IQ has an electronics detector on her wrist that, when active, it will spot and detect all electronics within a certain radius, I believe 15 meters, in front of her or where the device is pointing. She cannot destroy them with this device, but she can find them to then figure out a way to destroy them. Buck has an underbarrel shotgun that is just a very simple, crude, basically third gun, which can be used for getting kills or breaching soft walls. Blackbeard has a ballistic shield on his rifle that stops incoming bullets from hitting his head. It can only take a few shots, but those few shots can still save his life. Capitow has an incendiary bolt crossbow that, when fired, creates an area of effect that, when walked into, will burn allies and enemies. Also in this crossbow, he has smoke grenades to block off lines of sight. Hibana is another hard breacher, where she has a grenade launcher that fires almost fidget spinner type pellets that create rectangular boxes to look through, but if you use all 3 of her charges, you can create something big enough to stand through or to crawl through or crouch. Jackal has a gadget that tracks the defender footprints when active, allowing him to see where they are, and he can ping them for himself, where he will get multiple pings as to their location, or he can do one ping for his entire team to see, but it gives no pings after that. Ying has basically just an advanced flashbang that she can put on soft walls, barricades, or just throw it into a room, and she can put a delay on when these cluster flashes deploy, and it fires multiple of them into where they're placed and just blinds enemies, just an advanced flashbang. Zofia has a double barrel grenade launcher that has two different functions. The first is impact grenades for soft breaching, whether it's walls or barricades. And the second function is a concussion grenade that, when fired, it stuns enemies, slowing movement speed and creating a dizzying effect on their screen. Dokebi has kind of a dual purpose gadget. The first is she can call defenders' phones, making a ringtone for all attackers to hear to then find them, or she can scan a dead defender's body and gain access to defender cams for all attackers. Lion has an aerial drone that, when his scan is active, it will ping any moving defender during the scan. Only way to avoid being pinged is either be on a mute jammer or stop moving, which allows the attackers to make a good push while the defenders can't move without being seen. Finka has an adrenaline boost that, when active, will increase movement speed and ADS time and improve recoil to make it almost non-existent, and it boosts health. And if a teammate is downed in a not out stage, activating this surge will pick them back up. Maverick has a blowtorch that can be used for soft breaching and hard breaching. Due to this blowtorch having fuel, though, he cannot make big holes to walk through, and it uses much of his fuel to even make a hole to crawl through. His ideal use is to make sight lines to open up and make odd angles into objectives. Nomad has an air jab launcher that, when fired, creates an area of effect that, when a defender walks into it, it knocks them back and off their feet, allowing attackers to have an easy kill. However, if an attacker is in this area of effect, when a defender detonates it, they will be knocked back too. Knock has a cloaking device that makes her invisible to all defender cameras when active. However, if she shoots or runs, there's a glitching effect showing her, but just not her full self. Furthermore, this ability quiets her footsteps so she's not as easy to hear. And I skipped Gridlock, so we'll go back. Gridlock has a stinger trap that, when thrown, deploys a bunch of spike strips across an area of effect, limiting that area off for defenders to move. They can move through it, but they will take damage doing so, or they can shoot it to destroy it. However, shooting it will make a lot of sound. Amaru has a simple grappling hook that she can attach to hatches or windows, and she will be launched through them very fast, allowing her to rush very efficiently. Callie has an extremely powerful sniper rifle that, no matter the hit on a defender, will one-shot down them, but will not kill them unless it is a headshot. Furthermore, her actual gadget is an underbarrel projectile that, when fired at reinforced walls, barbed wire, or deployable shields, will destroy it, basically acting as an alternative to Thatcher. Yana, her ability is a replicator drone that looks exactly like her, and she can move around. Only difference is it cannot shoot or destroy things. She can be used for scouting out areas or baiting out defenders to reveal their position. That is all of the attackers, with more to come next season, Ace being another addition and a hard breacher. To start with the defenders. The first is Smoke. He has a gas canister that, when attackers or defenders walk into it, take damage over time from inhaling the toxins. Mute has an ability that is just a technology jammer that will jam all attacker gadgets, whether it be hard breaching, drones, scans, whatever it may be. If you are on this, you are safe for most attacker gadgets from finding you or being used. Castle's ability is a bulletproof barricade that can be put on doors and windows, and what this does is it just stops bullets from being fired through it. However, it can be broken after being hit 12 times or explosives being used on it. Doc has a stim pistol that fires a stim shot where it heals all defenders, or if you choose to use it on attackers too, to pick them up from a down but not out stage or recover lost health. Pulse has a heartbeat sensor that will track attackers' heartbeats through walls, allowing him to find easy picks and making him an efficient roamer to finding where they are pushing from. Rook has armor plates that reduce damage, and when these armor plates are active, they will create it so anyone wearing the plates will go into a down but not out stage instead of being immediately killed unless headshotted. Capcan has booby traps that he will attach to doors and windows that, when walked through by an attacker, will explode, dealing damage. Tachanka has a mounted LMG with a shield where he just puts it down, sits on it, and can fire it. He's one of the most useless operators in Rainbow Six. However, he is getting a rework to make this turret his primary and an incendiary grenade launcher as his gadget. Jaeger has an active defense system that will destroy any grenade that goes within its vicinity, and these do have a certain amount of charges, so each one can only be used a certain amount of times to destroy a certain number of grenades. Bandit has just a car battery that will electrify all defender, not all, the defender reinforcements, barbed wire, or deployable shields it is attached to. And this deals damage to all attackers who touch it and prevents them from breaching it unless a Cali or Thatcher is used. Frost has a very simple and crude just bear trap that, when an attacker walks into it, traps them and puts them in a down but not out stage, requiring another attacker to come pick them up out of it and make an easy kill for defenders, or possibly baiting out that person for defenders to get more easy kills. Valkyrie has a throwable black eye camera that, it's very simple. She just throws the camera, and once thrown, can be used by all defenders to gain new sightlines and get intel from about attackers and where they're going. Kavera has a silent step that, when active, she is completely silent to be for her footsteps, and makes her very, very hard to find unless physically spotted. Furthermore, she has a very high damage pistol that is easy to put attackers in a down but not out stage with, and from this down but not out stage, she can interrogate that attacker and find the location of all the other attackers in real time, tracking them for a short period of time. Echo has a yokai drone that, when thrown, it can be piloted around and will attach to ceilings, and when attached to a ceiling, it will turn invisible. This invisible effect also allows a concussion thing to be activated, where Echo can fire this concussion effect out at attackers, and this can stun them, similar to a Zofia charge, or if they're planting a diffuser and bomb, it will disable this plant. Mira has a one-way bulletproof mirror that can be put on any walls, but typically is put on reinforced walls, that, when placed, allows Mira to have one sightline to attackers, but they cannot see the other way. However, you can destroy the mirror by breaking a fire extinguisher can on the bottom of it that takes the glass out and allowing her to shoot through it, but also the attackers to shoot back. Lesion has a goo mine that turns invisible when placed, and when an attacker steps on it, it makes a sound, allowing the defenders to know it's been triggered, and it deals damage over time as the attacker walks unless it is removed. Furthermore, if Lesion is within a certain vicinity of it or line of sight, it will show on his screen to show where it is, and if broken, which one has been broken. Ella has Gersmont mines that are 3 of Zofia's concussion grenades, just creating a dizzying effect and slowing down, making it harder to aim, and allowing her to throw them and place them where she wants to deny attackers entry. Vigil has a cloaking scan that turns him invisible to all attacker drones. However, there's a slight buzzing effect on the drone's screen for when he is within a certain vicinity. This buzzing effect increases the closer he is to the drone. His cloak is deactivated if he reinforces things or shoots. Maestro has a bulletproof camera that, when placed, can only be destroyed by explosives or soft breachers. It can also be destroyed with when the laser is he has a laser in the camera that he can fire out and deal damage to attackers. A panel will open in the camera for when this laser is firing, and attackers can shoot this part of the camera when the panel is open to destroy it too. Alibi has 3 holograms of herself that she can throw out to make attackers think it is her, however, it is not really her. And when the attackers hit it or shoot it, unless it is the base of the hologram, they will be tracked and pinged for a short amount of time, allowing the defenders to see where they are, making an easy pick for Alibi or anybody else. Clash has a bulletproof shield that is not as strong as Montaigne's, despite covering the same amount of area, that when hit will stagger her balance, making her easy to shoot. However, there's a taser on this shield that, when hit with it, the attacker will be slowed and take 5 damage every time. She furthermore carries 2 secondary pistols. One of them is automatic, the other is a standard pistol. Kaid is an alternative to Bandit, where he has an Electroclaw that he can throw, and anything within the area of the effect of the Electroclaw that is a reinforcement, barbed wire, or deployable shield will be electrified, requiring a Callie or Thatcher to destroy it. Mozzie has a pest launcher that he will fire out through a crossbow type thing, and when an attacker drone goes in the area of effect of these pest launchers, they will attach to the drone and hack it, giving Mozzie control of the drone, allowing him to drive it around and use it for the defender's benefit. Warden has smart glasses that, when active, disable or counter the effects of flashbangs, but furthermore, if the glasses are active and he is standing still, he can see through smoke grenades. Goyo has a deployable shield, but attached to the back of these deployable shields is a fuel can. When this fuel can is shot or an explosive hits it, it will detonate, creating area of effect fire that will deal damage to anyone that goes through it, limiting rotations of attackers. Wamai is an alternative to Jaeger, where he has a magnet system that, when thrown, will attach all grenades within its vicinity to it, and these grenades will be brought away but detonated in that spot of the magnet. This can be used on the defender's advantage to harm the attackers, if done right. Oryx is just Kool-Aid Man, where he will dash forwards and he can hit attackers, knocking them off balance, making them an easy kill, or he can run through soft walls, taking 10, soon to be 5 damage every time he does it. That is all the defenders currently in the game, with a soon addition being Malusi, who will be another trap operator for Intel. That is all 27 attackers and 27 defenders in Rainbow Six.